Welcome to the NXT Podcast, your home for weekly NXT reviews and insight.
The beautiful part of NXT is that when one dream ends, another dream begins.
Find all of your NXT news, recaps, and analysis right here. So with that being said, we only have one question for you.
Are you ready?
We thought so. Let's get the show started right now.
All right, this is Memphis Mark coming to you from Mullet Manor, and we're going to do the NXT review for 5/16. And of course, this show is mainly built around starting and ending with quarter matches, with to determine who's going to fight next week. So you've got the first match is going to be Cora Jade and Valen Henry, and then a little later on we'll have one more. So they're going to start and end with women's championship tournament matches. And as I said, Cora Jade comes out. You know, I like her as a heel. She's getting better on her offense. She's selling. So you can't say anything too much wrong with her. Got the look, got the stance, got the entrance. And then you got Valen Henry. And Valen is good too. She's getting better. Her timing's getting better. Her offense, of course. And, she sells, pretty good. Today, I guess she's never really had a bad knee injury because she was trying to sell this knee tweak, I guess you would say. And it was just a little odd. They both need a little bit more time, a little bit more shining. I think Cora's a little ahead on that one, but Cora ends up winning this match. Pretty good match. So you've got next week you're going to have Lyra and Cora. And Tiffany will fight whoever wins the last match. And then you've got Thea and Katina. I just miss James. They start getting to an argument in the locker room. Of course, you're talking about overselling. Thea, if you looked up overselling in a wrestling dictionary, it would have Thea's picture on it. She asked Duke while he's grading papers if she can fight Katrina. Of course, Duke's like preoccupied. So the scripted night starts here. And then you've got Tyler and Wes chilling in a steam room, getting ready to drop. Tyler's getting ready to drop some knowledge, and out of nowhere, Schism, shows up. So you got Dyad jumping on them in the steam room. Okay. Gacy comes out and does his Charles Manson imitation, and they go on. You've got Mello and Trick arriving in a new vet, looking dapper, and they go straight to the ring. But when they go to the ring, apparently they kind of brush up against old Dempsey and Gulak, and they don't really like it. So, Trick and Mello go out and they call Braun out, of course. And at one point in time, Trick uses a reference of Big Booty Braun. Okay, that's going to go on a T-shirt. I can see it. But Dempsey and Gulak come out, and they said they don't like being disrespected. And, of course, the crowd starts calling Dempsey Willy Wonka and really getting into that. But, hey, Dempsey can go. So, of course, that's going to set up a match. And then Gulak and Dempsey try to jump on him. And there we go. Scripted. Very well. So, you got Dijak, which the production department does really good on the promos, because this is like a mini version of The Shining or something like that. I don't know, but Dijak and Dragunov, Dijak says he can break any man, so Dragunov says, give me a try. And the promos just keep coming. So after that, you got the Creed brothers and Ivy going against Dyad and Ava. The Creed brothers are getting better. Brutus particularly is needs to get caught up to his brother, but Julius is coming on. Dyad is Dyad, man. They're good. They are good. They're not up to the Pretty Deadly that just got promoted good, but they're getting there. At least I hope they are. But yeah, they look good. The Creed brothers did do an interesting, they get them up in the suplex, and they do it to both guys. But they get them up a suplex, and they tag out, and they just keep them up in a suplex. So showing the strength and the ability of their opponent to keep their legs straight. But that didn't work out so well. So I understand what they were. The premise of what they were doing was good, but it didn't look as great to me, at least. I'm sure it would impress a lot of people, though. And they look good, though. They're getting better and better as far as the Creed brothers go. So hopefully, we will see some more from them. But the Creed brothers. Ava gets involved. She goes to body slam Ivy. Ivy turns it around. And then, of course, one of the Dyad's going to miss a big move in the corner. Julius rolls him up, doesn't move, rolls him up, and the pin is in. The Creed brothers pull that off. They go from there to Tony D and Stax doing a little promo. And there's Stax gets called away. They're in like an Italian restaurant or something like that, having a glass of wine, and some funny cops show up. Funny. Just something funny about them. I don't know if I'd have left with them because I'd have had to check their credentials. They were funny. It was okay. A little promo. So you got, then after that, they go back to ringside, and the Creed brothers are out there doing their best, Freebird's imitation and calling out Gallus for the belts. And then, I don't know how to do this one. They go into this, Supernova sessions with, Noam Dar. It's terrible. It's not the translation, and I understand what he's trying to do. He just can't do it yet, I guess. I don't know. He tries to insult Dragon Lee. He brings Dragon Lee out and tries to insult him because he can't speak English. And, of course, Dragon Lee speaks some English. And it's going bad. And then Nathan Frazier comes out, kind of saves it. Nathan jumps in there and ticks Mr. Dar off, and so Nathan has a match coming up next week, and for Battleground, I believe it's going to be Dragon Lee going after the Heritage Cup. Not too, I guess, the trophy style, the Heritage Cup. I guess that's more of a European stalker style, I guess. I don't know. Just not real impressed there. So they go from that. Let's see. They go from that to some more Dijak and Dragunov. And he's trying to break him. Did I say the production was good? All right, and then you got a JC Jane promo. And the production is good. All right, then you go into the match with Mello and Trick against Dempsey, and Gulak. And, of course, Mello's got his ribs taped up from the spear through the 1/16 of an inch plywood he was driven through. The match is pretty good. Trick's getting better and better. Getting better all the time. And Mello's looking more HBK-like each month, it seems like. So that's good. Dempsey is good. He is always going to be good. He's just got that I don't know what he needs. It's just he's missing something. Can't quite put my finger on it, but he is missing something. And Gulak, I just, pretty talented in the ring. Okay, okay on the interviews. This match is pretty good. They work together pretty good. So, hey, possibly something in the future, maybe. I do not know, but Mello and Trick, of course, are going to win. And they're again going to call out Braun. But this time, Braun answers. And this little spot that Braun does, though, it caused me to actually get a bloody lip because I was biting my lip to keep from making jokes. But anyway, they're out in the ring wanting Braun, of course, and then Braun shows up on the big screen, and he's in, I think it's called Wise Cuts or wherever Mello and them do their little weekly spot at the barbershop, a little Coming to America. Yeah, they got Braun sitting right there in the middle in the barber's chair, and he does the show from there, and everybody has this shocked look on their face that he's there. And yeah, it was pretty interesting. As I said, caused me to bite my lip a little too hard because I could have done 3 pages of jokes on that one. So go from that to Duke grading papers, Thea, chase you, but then Noam Dar shows back up with his Heritage Cup, and he runs into Miss Jackson and Lash Legend, and there seems to be a little talk show envy because Lash is saying hers was the best, and you got Nomar's and you got Nathan Frazier's, and so I can kind of agree with there may be a little too much going on there. Hopefully that class is done. But then you got Thea Hale and Duke and Katrina James. And Katrina, she's a future star. But Thea, I don't know who is helping her with her selling, but good gosh, you talking about overselling. So, I mean, there's no other way to put it. There's just no other way to put it. She just goes a little overboard. Duke, look, this is so scripted to where you've got Duke on the outside grading papers like he's waiting for any camera angle. Barely ever looks up. You've got Thea doing some good moves, some pretty good moves, and Miss James is always gonna shine, but it just seemed so scripted. There's no other way to put it. Miss James is gonna win this. It just, I don't know. Then you've got Hank and Tank. I just like saying that. Hank and Tank. But you got Hank and Tank, and Briggs and Jensen show up, and they're talking about Briggs and Jensen they're talking about how they traded punches, and that's kind of like old brother thing. You fight your older brother or younger brother, and that's how you get tougher, and they're going into that. So Hank and Tank have come up with a great idea. Next week they're going to beat the crap out of each other. So that might actually not be so bad. Because Hank's kind of showed me a little bit, and Tank, I don't know a lot about Tank yet, so here we go from there. All right, and then you got Tyler and Wes in the trainer's room, and Tyler comes out, and his arm's hurt, and Wes is there, and I don't know. I don't know what to say about that one. But I tell you what, they do have a Dabba Kato promo, and it is scripted too. I will say that, but he pulled it off. As far as interview goes, that is the best interview I've seen him do. So I got to give him, I talk bad about people, so I got to say something good. But yeah, you got Wesley coming out now because he wanted to come out and respond to the being jumped. And so he gets out there, and you've got Gacy and Ava kind of up in the Muffets box there. And so they're going kind of back and forth. And they're planting the seed of deception very well. And Gacy pulls it off, but he kind of turns Wes against Tyler. And Tyler has to come out and get involved and say, hey, my bad. It started out okay. Ended kind of sucky. And then you, then you got one of the most scripted, I guess you could say, Roxanne promos. She's got the collage of photos and for the year, and okay. And then you got Von Wagner jumping in and helping Mr. Stone out. And Mr. Stone's like, hey, you were sticking up for me. And then he brings that damn picture out. I don't know why he keeps trying to get to the bottom of that. I hope they have written something good for that. Yeah, but you go to a JC Jane and Roxanne women's championship tournament match. Okay, I originally started doing some other things and keeping that on in the background. Almost, you watch it, but you don't watch it as close as you do some other matches. But I will say that it surprised me. It did surprise me. The match was pretty good. Roxanne, I know I've been saying everything in the world, but she took some good punches in this. She had some good offense. So she really, really surprised me with this match. And at one point in time, there's a discus punch that's done to her by JC Jane. And it when they get a kind of a camera angle on it, it almost looks like her eyes roll back in her head. So good selling. And I can't say enough. It was a good match. So, I'm not going to overdo it, but it was a good match. In the end, she pulls off her Papa Rocks, or whatever you call her finishing move. I guess, was it Papa Rocks? Yeah, Papa Rocks. And it's funny. I hate to bring this up, but I think it was Israel. They have a shortage of fruit roll-ups there, and something to do with ice cream, and they just busted an American couple smuggling in individually wrapped fruit wraps into Israel. A little odd there. I guess they're going on the black market there, but if they'd have just brought Roxanne over there, she could have just continually done the pop rock. Anyway, it was pretty good there. So, as I said, can't complain. But then you're going to have Gigi come out and attack JC Jane. And they do a pretty good sell job on that. They roll around in the ring for a little bit, get outside, security, gets in there. So, but this was all right, it's right at the end of the match, or the end of the show. So they fit a commercial in between all these actions that happen after Miss Jane and Miss Perez's match. So they when they were writing it, I don't know how they came up with this format, but you're going to have pretty much Gigi do a run in, you're going to have Mello and Trick do their hollering, and then you're going to have Dijak and Dragunov, and then you're going to end up with Braun and Mello. I mean, that's a lot of writing there. So, all right, so the match gets through. Gigi runs in. They roll around in the ring a little bit, get outside. As I said, the security breaks him up. Then you got Mello and Trick coming in, and they kind of get like back to back, like one's looking for one side of the arena and the one's looking at the other side. Now, while they're doing that, here comes the final session or the final episode of the Dijak and Dragunov saga that they're doing. That Dijak can break any man, and Dragunov is not just any man. So, and then, and that was pretty. The way they ended it, as I said, the production was very good. But they end it, so you've got Gigi come in and fight. You've had Mello still standing back to back. They have now done the segment with Dijak, and then you've got Braun coming out. And Braun comes out with his own security, and he pretty much tells him, this security ain't here for me, it's to keep me from you. And then he keeps describing running him through that 16th-inch plywood last week, and they continue on. Now, Braun is getting better on the mic. Mello was okay in this, but Braun was actually really, really good. Now, Mello is not bad. I'm not trying to talk bad, but Braun kind of shined on this, and Mello looked pretty good. Of course, Trick's got a couple little lines he can sneak in there every once in a while, but it was mainly Mello and Braun, and finally, I guess Trick and them they finally decide they've heard enough or whatever, and here they go doing a flip on to the security, and so of course you know what's going to happen. Trick ends up kind of being the buffer, keeping some of the security off of them, and then that allows Braun and Mello to get back in the ring. And it's a typical end, setting up a pay-per-view, or a premium live event. But Mello gets his good shots on him, and then Braun comes out of nowhere with a freaking clothesline from hell. And it all turns from there. But, not too bad of an end. I mean, it was a lot shoved into like the last 5 minutes. It's almost, I was like, are they testing the writers? Are they putting them on are they giving them a class today? So, I don't know. The show was, a C-type show. Nothing really stood out other than Kato's interview. I thought it was really good. He shined as far as the interviews. Braun's talking at the end, and as far as everybody playing their part that they were told to do. From Duke standing there looking statuesque while he's doing the grading the papers, from Tyler in the training room, from the trainer over there trying to, when he's doing Tyler Bates' arm, just looks like, hey, this is a wrist and it moves. Look at there. It just didn't look right. And then you had the funny cops. So you had a little bit of everything in the show. And Wesley tried to pull off that interview, just didn't quite. I just didn't like the puppy dog look, like, can't believe I trusted you. So that is pretty much going to wipe up or finish up the show. I did not mean that reference. Really, I didn't. Really. But anyway, guys, it's the show was, look, when it's a B or an A, hey, look, I can pull a lot out, but man, when it's C and D, I'm pulling hairs here. So we won't prolong you any longer, and plus it's storming like crazy outside here, so it's trying to be summer, and it's not quite ready yet, so there's growing pains in the weather, I guess. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in this week. You can check us out a little bit of everywhere where you get your favorite podcasts, so always remember, to spay and neuter and to rescue when you can. And those are things I truly believe in. So, guys, have a great week. We'll see you next week. And this is Memphis Mark. And you know what? I'm out.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.